And we're back, and I'm so excited to talk to you about Join the Future. I reviewed the first issue of Join the Future, which is a great sci-fi sort of big city versus small town situation. And you can find that link somewhere. I don't remember which side it goes on, but it'll appear here. And I got 2 and 3, and I want to talk to you about them. There will be spoilers, but it is so good, and I encourage you to pick it up. Also, we have some nerd news stuff to talk about. Will Keanu Reeves be coming back as Constantine for TV? There's a new Zatanna movie. Cool. And also, we have a new Batwoman, and she's black and she's bi, and I'm very into it. All right, so without further ado, let's talk comics. Now, I continued reading Join the Future because I'm really interested in it. Also, it's difficult for me to get to the comic book shop right now. And Zach Kaplan is super cool. I've read some of his other work as well. He's done Port of Earth. I read Lost City Explorers. And yeah, I enjoyed both of those things. So I was really excited to read Join the Future and to give you a little bit of a recap of what's going on. Basically, there's the big bad city, right? It is this metropolis. It's a little Stepford house wifey where you have no freedoms, but things like food and housing and healthcare are all taken care of. And the cost is, again, your freedom. And there are these people who are holdouts living outside of the city in the Midwest, sort of in these small, sort of old-timey communities who rejected all the technology and wanted nothing to do with it. But the city had other plans and worked in conjunction with these small town sheriffs to come in and wreak havoc and force the people who were holdouts into submission. Clem is our protagonist. She is very plucky, and also she has asthma, so inhaler gang, what's up? And if you recall, the city came and destroyed her small town, killed her brother and her father, and now she's bent on revenge. Well, in the second one, it is her duty to go find this man called the Traitor. So Trader, not traitor, but traitor. I'm Southern, I'm sorry. But so the rest of the people who survived the incident from the city have signed over their rights, signed over their land, and will be moving to the city. But Clem says, no way. She's not selling her land. She's not moving to the city. She is hell-bent on revenge for her brother and her father. So she goes to find the Traitor because she needs ammo. And she gets into a little bit of a pickle on the way because she's not exactly survivor savvy, right? So she has a pistol and her wit and her inhaler, and she is attacked by wolves when thankfully the Traitor comes and finds her. But, you know, it just goes to show that she's really hell-bent on this sort of, like, again, this journey for revenge, but she doesn't know what she's getting herself into. And it does set up this sort of David and Goliath type situation where you see this young girl and you really believe in her and you hope that she can go and she can exact the justice that she needs, probably for the closure of the casual murder of her family. But it seems almost impossible. You know, she can't even shoot a wolf that's coming to attack her, which is a bummer. You really feel for her. And thankfully, like I said, the Traitor does find her and takes her in. And that, very briefly, takes us to issue number 3, which I really enjoyed a lot because you got a look into Clem and her sort of, the way she acts around other people, right? So she wakes up and she's at the Traitor's compound. She's been sewn up. She walks out. She finds the Traitor, who is really kind to her. And that is my favorite trope in anything. I love people who are like really gruff and grumpy and like dangerous, but then they have like a soft spot for somebody. Seems to be the dynamic here, which I'm very into. In a sweet way, not in like a weird way. Anyway, he says that she can leave whenever she wants. She's welcome to eat. Whatever. She says, I need to buy some ammo. And he is reluctant to sell it to her because 1, she's a wanted woman, and 2, she's not a great shot, come to find out. But she does barter with him. So she says she'll cook for him. She'll even make him bread, which is hard to come by, if he teaches her how to shoot and gives her some ammo. I love the idea of woman's work, but make it lethal. And that's what happens here. So you sort of see her and the Traitor's, I guess, friendship or symbiotic relationship kind of grow as he teaches her to shoot, but he's really trying to encourage her to use the tech that he has stolen to fight this revenge, the sheriff, the law that she's going to fight. But she says, no, I'm going to do it old school, I'm going to do it old school. And she's so she's so stubborn to the point of almost annoying me. But I was never a stubborn teenager, so but I really appreciate it, right? Because she wants to do it her way, and she has big opinions, and there's no one around to really counsel her, to tell her any other way. Her and the trader do have like a tender little sort of dad and kid moment where he encourages her to use the tech, and she does. She gives in. And are you ready for a crisscross? Because I was not ready. Here I was in my feels, like, oh, she's got this father mentor after she's lost her father, and she's clearly going through it because, like, I don't know, she's a teenager, and sometimes you forget that she's a teenager because she's so badass, but then, you know, you see her break down because she misses her dad and her brother, and you realize that she's gone through some stuff that's really going to cause some sort of mental and emotional distress. But she goes to confront the sheriff of her town that allowed basically the city to come in and kill her family. And she's got a big gun, she's ready to go, and lo and behold, the trader shows up. And he is both who you think he is, but also not who you think he is. And you really remember in this moment that Clem is just a kid. She's surrounded by all these grown men, and it looks like she's gonna be forced to sign a contract to go live in the city. That they'll expunge her record, that she'll no longer be wanted, and the whole situation where she showed up to a bunch of law enforcement officers with a big bad gun will be long forgotten. And the trader, I think, is trying to do the right thing by perhaps persuading her to do that because he wants her to be healthy and alive. And that is definitely guaranteed inside the city, right? No freedom, but health and wellness. A good trade-off for some, perhaps, but Clem's not interested. And it kind of seems like at the end of this comic that she's not going to have any choice but to sign, which means that we will see her in the city soon, and I am really interested to see this character sort of being the fish that's swimming the opposite direction in the city, because she's just not going to be able to be an outlaw anymore. So I'm ready for that. What I really, really like about this comic is because it sets up the juxtaposition between the lack of technology and the abundance of technology makes the main character Clem's desperation really real, and her fear really real. The two worlds are so different and scary, and the idea of such a large change going from this small town with no tech to this huge town that's nothing but tech, I think is really interesting. And Clem, really, she's not going to be into it, and so I'm interested in her character growth to see how she has to play the game, right? She hasn't been interested in playing the game up until now. She's not interested in making a deal. She's not interested in compromising her ways. She knows what she wants and she's going to go get it. But inside the city, she's probably going to have to appease some people in order to keep herself. And so I'm really interested in that. I've really been enjoying this comic. If you're into sci-fi stuff, you're really gonna like this comic. It's sort of backward post-apocalypse, right? So it's an abundance of resources, but still somehow hollow and outlawish. I don't know. It's so interesting. I really enjoy Kaplan's writing. He does a great job, and I love Kowalski. The art is beautiful. Peter Kowalski does a great job, so I can't recommend this comic enough. Issue 3 came out this week, this new comic book day, so yeah, pick it up and let me know what you think about it. You can always find me on Twitter, of course, and I'd love to talk to you about comic books. And you can talk to me about it in the comments as well. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's been a little weird to get comics in the era of COVID, so I'm reading what I can at this time, but I'm certainly not disappointed because it just sucked me in. Like, I really, really like Clem as a character, so I'm gonna follow her wherever she goes. And okay, so we get to move on to nerd news, which is so exciting. Now, I want to talk to you about the CW's Batwoman. I haven't watched the show, but I was really excited when it came out because it's a real big win for the LGBTQ plus community, because Batwoman is a big old lesbian, if you didn't know. And Ruby Rose played her, which was super cool. Everyone was really excited about it, but now she's leaving the role. And everyone was like, everyone read the internet was like, what are they gonna do to replace her? They're just gonna pretend like we never saw Ruby Rose as her? Which of course is weird, but whatever. She has been recast by Javicia Leslie, who will be the first Black woman to play Batwoman on television, which is so cool. Now Leslie, the actor herself, is bisexual, and so another win for the LGBTQ community, and I just love to see this. I love to see that we are breaking out of comics, whether characters are traditionally white or whatever, and we are diversifying our favorite characters on television. I don't need to tell you that diversifying and representation is really, really important, but I hope and I think it will be true that little black girls will see a black Batwoman and think that's so cool. I think it's so cool. I'm so excited. I have plans to watch the show. I just haven't sat down and done it yet. Let me know if you're enjoying the show or not. I watched like the first 4 seasons of Arrow, and then I got tired. But you know how it goes. A lot of people really love the CW superhero shows, so it's really cool. I'm excited to see Leslie do her thing on the show, and yeah, it'll be really great. So, moving on to our last thing before we wrap up our video today, there are some rumors, according to comicbook.com, that Keanu Reeves may reprise his role as Constantine from that 2005 movie that was really cool if you didn't see it at the time. I don't actually know if it's held up or not. And the reason why there are these rumors, and though they're not substantiated in any way, is because we're getting a Zatanna standalone film, which I am so excited for. I love Zatanna. And so there are some rumors that maybe Reeves is going to reprise his role because there is a Justice League Dark series coming to HBO by J.J. Abrams. Now, I'm not delighted at the idea of J.J. Abrams doing a Justice League Dark, just for my own personal reasons, but I am excited for 1, Zatanna, and 2, possibly Reeves coming back, because I think he played a great Constantine, but also Justice League Dark has a lot of dark characters, as the title tells you. So I'm really interested to see if they're going to take sort of a horror approach to this series. And, you know, there's rumor that we'll get sort of some solo movies of some of these popular characters before the series is created. So we may see like Jason Blood or like Nightmare Nurse. I would love to see a Nightmare Nurse movie, but who knows? But I would also love to see Reeves in a television show. However, I will say, I do not condone Constantine and Zatanna. He is her sometimes on again, off again lover, and he does not deserve her. He's a jerk. Anyway, it'd be really cool if these rumors are true, but regardless, it's a big win for sort of comic book television stuff. And I love to see all these stories that I really like coming to the mainstream. So maybe people will pick up more comics and want to read them. If that's the outcome of all of this sort of comic book television, I think we're all winning, right? So, that's all I have for you. Pick up Join the Future. Talk about comic television. Wear your mask. Be safe. Thank you so much for watching, and this has been Nerd News with Destiny.